7 o'clock, and soon it'll be 7:01, 7:02, 7:03, and next thing you know, it will be 8:59, and we're going to be getting out of here. But meanwhile, we got some time to spend with you, our WBOK family of listeners. I am Will Sutton, and I am blessed that the Lord woke me up yet another day, got me through the weekend, and set me up for this week. And I am thankful that He planted my feet on the floor, got me on over to our Black Talk radio station, greeted by Mr. Gerard at the door, and came in and saw my friend, Ro Brown.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yeah. So how was your journey over here today?
Oh, smooth.
How you like that weather? 80 degrees, and looks like we're going up into the low 90s, bright and sunny, 2% chance of rain, 1% chance of rain, 6% later this afternoon.
That means no rain. It'll rain someplace. Always does.
Right.
But
Yeah. Well, yep. But that humidity is gonna get us today, and right now it's 80 degrees and 82% humidity, and the feel like is 87. Oh, boy.
June. It's June.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we go along the day, don't be surprised to see some sun, some clouds, some sun and some clouds, because it looks like that's what it's going to be like today. And some reports have the temperature going up as high as 93. 93.
Yeah.
Whew. All right.
It's June.
Here we go.
It's June.
Here we go.
Almost July.
Yeah, and of course this week it's Essence Festival of Culture. So that's going to be rocking and rolling on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there'll be thousands of folks in town and around town who will be going over, and thousands more who will be coming in town to take advantage of the opportunities, the activities, the fun, the education, information as is provided by Essence Festival every year. And, of course, there'll be those who will be dressing to impress and showing up at those nighttime concerts.
And you will be one of them.
Not every night.
I didn't say that. I said you will be one of them. I didn't say every night. I said, and you will be one of them.
I really
dressed to impress.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about.
You gonna wear a zoot suit?
No. I had one of those.
Really?
It was a while ago. Of course, it was a hand me.
How much of a while ago?
Yeah, right. Decades.
How while ago?
Decades.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Back when I could fit into it.
Oh, come on. You had your chain? You still have, bet you still have your little chain, though.
I don't still have that. I had a pocket watch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was kind of cool. I enjoyed that pocket watch. It was a different kind of experience, very different than all this digital stuff on your arm and your wrist and, reach into your pocket. Somebody asks you the time.
You just
into your pocket.
Yeah. You just want.
Let me click.
You just want to look cool.
Let me click it and tell you what time.
Flip it up into your hand. Yeah.
Yep. So, seasons for things. That's what happened then. That was then, and moved on into the wingtip shoes.
Yeah.
And the solid socks and the double breast jackets. Remember those?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Yep. So we had a election this Saturday, and we're going to have a conversation about that coming up during the show. We're going to be talking with Greg Hurlburn, my friend from Monroe, Louisiana, who is a politics reporter for the state for Gannett. And we are also going to have my friend from down here, Tyler Bridges, my colleague from the Times-Picayune Nola.com. These two guys don't just cover it like, from their home or from a office or something. They are out there in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I thought it'd be good to have them come in, because there was a time when you had a whole bunch of these guys and then some gals who were doing this kind of work, very serious work, and they really got to know the candidates in their campaigns, and they got to know the strategies. They got to know the polls, the inside and the outside polls. They got to know all kinds of things about the candidate when there was no camera.
Mm-hmm.
They could see the
Mm-hmm.
differences between event number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16, because they were at most of them.
Yes.
And kind of like a sports reporter who says, I'm covering the Super Bowl,
Right.
but I haven't been to nary a game or just my hometown game.
Right.
It's just different.
Yeah.
You're just different.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me think of something I talked about this past weekend, and you talked about, people like these reporters that you're going to hear from this evening being like the old-time reporters, I guess, like you said, who were there, who were at places, who saw the candidates, who knew the candidates. I was talking about this with some former athletes, that in the National Football League, when we covered it, say, 30 years ago, or even like 40 years ago, you knew the players and they knew you. Mm-hmm. Talking about covering a team local, like covering the Saints. And now I think, and for some of the reasons I can understand why the league discourages that now. They do. They discourage, that's one of the first things they tell the players. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't just talk to somebody until you talk to us.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Gone are the days when, I go to Sam Mills and I say, Sam, look, I'd like to sit down and interview you, do a, kind of long feature on you. Okay. When can we do that? And his reply, you want to come to the house tonight?
Yeah, right.
No.
Not happening anymore, huh?
No. And like I said, there's a lot of money involved, a lot more money involved now, and for security reasons, I can see, to a degree, I can see that, but he knew me, and I knew him, okay,
right.
And so he could say that,
right,
and feel comfortable saying that,
right,
and doing that. And I had no intention of going to his house that night till he told me, why don't you come to the house tonight?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So,
but he wouldn't have done that if he didn't have the appreciation and respect for your work.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like some of the players who,
Yeah.
They don't watch or read, whatever you want. They're there to show up and.
Well, that's another thing. When you talk about coaches, all these coaches, and Jim Mora was good for this, and not only him, but I don't watch television. That's BS. They don't watch us, okay?
Right. Yeah.
They don't watch us, all right? They do. They pay attention.
Yeah. Well, the coaches certainly.
Yeah, I mean, but they said no. I don't pay attention, to what y'all write or what y'all. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Then why are you asking me about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you didn't like something,
right?
But yeah, and it's news, and not to get just to sports, but yeah, I mean that's what you're talking about with these kind of guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they are a lot like that now.
No, they're not. They're not. Way back when I was in Philadelphia and part of the Philadelphia City Hall coverage team, we had 5 and 6 reporters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes you don't even have one these days.
And you're talking about 5 or 6 reporters covering
City Hall.
That. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And later on, when I was an editor, I had 6 reporters covering the city by neighborhood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, that was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
You
Sure.
got some different kind of stories that people got to know people in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't, I didn't get it either. Boy, with these phones, boy, I don't know if you all heard that, but I think Siri was trying to record my conversation.
Yeah. Saying, could you say that again, please?
Yeah, I wasn't loud enough. Well, hopefully I'm loud enough in the mic. So,
but yeah, it's the same thing. People ask here now, man, they don't cover high school sports like they used to. No, they don't, because they used to have 6, 7 people covering high school sports.
Right, yeah.
Now they've got one.
And a bevity of correspondence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all over the place.
Exactly. Now they got one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And hey.
Indeed. Well, there's some news happening out there. We're going to share some of that with you now and later. We will be talking about the election from the weekend. Of course, it's no secret. Julia Letlow won the Republican nomination and will run in the fall as the Republican nominee, beating Treasurer John Fleming. And, of course, Jamie Davis from northern Louisiana won handily over Gary Crockett, New Orleans businessman who said he's too is from the rural area, Tallulah. And that was not totally unexpected. And Mr. Davis had quite a bit of support. So we're going to be talking with Tyler and Greg about that in a bit. Let me tell you about some of the things that you might want to know about in the meanwhile. There was a man injured in a shooting at a Central City party, according to the New Orleans Police Department and reporter Joni Hess. The man was injured. This was a house party in the 2200 block of Louisiana Avenue. There were about 20 people there. And then gunshots rang out about 3 a.m. near the front side alley of the home. So this is 3 a.m. Sunday, which means it probably started on Saturday night. Mm-hmm. And they're still hanging out at 3 o'clock in the morning. People fled to the rear of the house. There were more gunshots heard from that area. Subject fled the scene, and the injured victim was taken to a local hospital. No more details about that at this time. But at 3 o'clock in the morning, I can't imagine that there were nobody else in the homes next door, on either side, or around the corner, or somebody,
How do you know that?
Well, I said, either side, around the corner, or down the street. I mean, somebody else heard the gunshots.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody else might have seen something. Yeah. And I implore those of you who did to contact the New Orleans police.
This sounds like a domestic thing.
Well, with 20 people, I think we should make a distinction between domestic and relationship.
Okay. I think I understand what you mean.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
okay.
I feel I'm in
a
relationship.
This sounds like a relationship.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I can be in a relationship with you, my friend, but not a domestic relationship. What do you think?
Can a domestic relationship? Aren't there domestic relationships?
Oh, absolutely they are. I'm in one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yep. So I just mean sometimes that goes beyond.
And although the person you're in the domestic relationship and you aren't shooting at each other, it's still a domestic relationship, even if you shoot at each other.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's true. But you can have a relationship with someone at a house party and your friends, it's not what people normally think about when they say domestic
Was this at a
relations.
house party?
It was a house party,
Okay.
which means friends could have been invited.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And I understand what you're saying. I'm
yeah,
just-
yeah. Sorry, sometimes these things get to me. So, oh boy. All right, so there was that. So somebody out there knows some more about what happened with that incident. There was another unfortunate death, and that happened on Saturday after a pedestrian was walking in Central City, and there was an accident at the intersection of Earhart and Magnolia. This was before 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Earhart and Magnolia. Probably
Okay.
not going to see everybody walking the street.
Mhm.
Not to say the driver shouldn't have been more careful, but the victim was laying on the ground when New Orleans Police Department showed up. The truck driver uh, pulled into a maintenance lane and remained on the scene
Hmm.
and was arrested at that point. But I mean, sometimes people, something like this happens and they're gone.
Mhm.
They are gone.
Yeah.
So, but again, I mean, that's something that police department could use your help with to make sure that they're finding out more information. Maybe there's something that nobody saw but you before that happened. We also had a woman that was injured in a shooting on an elevated portion of US 90, and that was near the Chapatulas exit a little bit before 6 p.m. on Saturday. There was a shooting over there. State transportation officials said all lanes had been reopened by 7, but of course they're looking for more information about that as well. So contact the New Orleans Police Department. That's courtesy of Chad Cutler over at the TP. So, look, we're going to be taking a break. And when we come back, we're going to be jumping into conversation about what happened this weekend. How did it happen? Why did it happen? What the turnout looked like. We're going to have a good conversation with Greg Hilburn from Gannett, Tyler Bridges from Times-Picayune, NOLA.com, The Advocate, and I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Ro Brown. It is 7:18 a.m. If you got somewhere to be at 7:20, you got 2 minutes, so make sure you are on your way. And now you got 1 minute because it's 7:19. Slide on over to the other side of the bed. If you can do that, fire up your laptop and get to work. And otherwise, you got somewhere to be at 7:30. You got a little bit more time if you're already dressed. If you're just starting to shower and to brush your teeth now, I don't know if you're going to make it unless it's real close. But watch out for our babies and our kiddos. They're out there, summer camp, Nord, in your street, in your block, playing, doing whatever their kids do during the summertime. Just because school's out doesn't mean we shouldn't be safe. All right, Ro, for some folks who might want to weigh in on the election, as we have that segment coming up, what's that talk line phone number?
The number is 504 582 9422. 504 582 9422.
This is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Kubel, and here are today's headlines for you. Starting today, businesses on Decatur Street impacted by that ongoing construction can file for grants through the Greater New Orleans Foundation. Owners can file for up to $5,000 depending on the businesses. City officials say the French Market Corporation pooled resources together to get the program underway. And this comes as several of those businesses are taking legal action against the Sewage and Water Board for what they say has been a constant lack of accountability. Since this construction has happened, 3 businesses on Decatur have shut down, and now owners are asking the courts to step in. More demands call for restored pedestrian access where construction isn't happening, a 72-hour heads up on changes, and affected businesses to have their sewage and water bills suspended during construction. Well, in sports news this morning, the Pelicans are set to introduce their draft pick, St. Aug high school star Jaron Pierre Jr. Pierre played at 4 different colleges. He started at Southern Miss, then went to Wichita State, then to Jacksonville State in Alabama, and ended his college career at Southern Methodist University. His introduction is set for 10 a.m. And that is a look for you at today's headlines.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Real talk. I look forward to Essence Festival every single year. This year, July 3rd through the 5th. New Orleans Essence Festival of Culture is back for 2026 and is presented by Coca-Cola. This lineup, man, Cardi B, Patti LaBelle, Brandy and Monica together, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, Kalani, Lotto, Leon Thomas, Public Enemy, and Babyface. I need you to understand what this weekend feels like. The energy, the fashion, and man, oh man, the food. New Orleans is already magic, and Essence makes it super natural. However you're getting there, wherever you're coming from, you need to be in that building July 3rd through the 5th. Go to EssenceFestival.com right now. Get your tickets. Do not wait.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Another hot start to the work week. Highs for today, 92 to 97 degrees, feeling like 105 and above. No heat advisory is in effect, but we will be looking at a small chance for a shower or two, although most of us will stay dry. Lows tonight, 73 to 79, and then for Tuesday, another hot day, 93 to 97. Midweek rain chances start on Wednesday. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Reese.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Ro Brown. We got Jared on the other side of the glass, and we're about to jump into a good conversation about what happened on Saturday. What does it mean? How did it happen? And we're going to be jumping into conversation with Greg Hilburn from Gannett. Good morning. Good morning, Greg. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you for having me on this morning. It's always great to talk to you, Will.
All right. Good to see you. How those daughters doing?
They're doing great. Thank you for asking.
All right. And Mr. Tyler Bridges, who used to sit just a couple of desks from me, he moved further away. I'm not sure what had changed, but he found a move to Uptown, I think.
I wanted to stay where I was.
Wasn't your doing.
The powers that be at the newspaper made me, well, remember also everybody had to move, so.
Yeah, right.
You may have been one of the few select people who didn't have to move, Will.
Right. You're right. I didn't have to move.
Excuse me. Excuse me. You know?
Yeah, I'm now sitting with the advertising people. I'm the only person in the newsroom who sits with advertising. I don't know what that means.
Well, certainly what you cover is the furthest away from advertising than I think anybody in the newsroom. But look, we had a big election on Saturday, and Ro Brown and I are interested in having this conversation to figure out what happened and why. But let's start with, is this true? Is this the matchup that we thought it might be way back a few months ago? Did we think it would be Julia Letlow and Jamie Davis? And did we think that U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy would be out of a job? Greg?
Well, it started becoming clear that Bill Cassidy would be out of a job and finish third. As it got closer to the May 16th primary, it seemed like that Jamie Davis did have the backing of the state party. And so certainly after the primary, with Julia winning 45%, at that time it seemed inevitable. As it got closer to Saturday, though, there were many people who thought it might be a lot closer.
And Tyler, what's your take?
Well, I remember that qualifying for the race was in February, and Julia Letlow got in the race several weeks beforehand when President Trump endorsed her. And I remember seeing polling numbers before Cassidy got in the race that led me to wonder whether Cassidy would even run. In polling language, Cassidy was underwater. That means his unfavorable rating was higher than his favorable rating, and normally it has to be the opposite to have a chance of winning.
And that's unusual for an incumbent, right?
It's unusual for an incumbent, and that goes back to a single decision that Cassidy made, which was to say that to convict Donald Trump. This vote was taken in February of 2021 to say that Trump had incited the riot on the assault on the Capitol on January 6, 2021. He voted with 6 other Republicans to convict Trump. There was not the 2/3 vote needed in the Senate, but Cassidy's numbers immediately tanked with the MAGA crowd. The Louisiana party censured him. Trump got furious with him. And so by the time, again, February, the period for qualifying for the Senate race, Cassidy's numbers were underwater. And again, there was a question, at least in my mind, and certainly probably others too, as to whether he should even qualify. He did qualify, but again, being underwater, being so unfavorable with the voters, showed up, and he finished third in that May 16th Republican primary.
So with the way the election went, the turnout was not fantastic, but this is also the first time that we've had, and the first time in a long time that we've had a closed primary, and certainly a closed primary runoff. So what do you think the impact was on any of these campaigns for that, Tyler?
Well, Governor Landry pushed through the closed primary. In fact, that is Act 1. It was the single first piece of legislation that took effect after he became governor in January of 2024. And the primary turnout rate under this new system was 28%. Saturday, for the overall turnout was 17%. I checked, Will, in past non-presidential even year elections like we just had, the turnout typically was about 50% in the primary. So Governor Landry's move, which was approved by the legislature, I think ultimately disenfranchised a lot of people because so fewer people voted. And if the goal is to have as many people to vote as possible in a fair and free election, then this closed primary system failed.
Greg, do you read it the same way in northern Louisiana? I know you're in northern Louisiana, but you cover the state. And you're often in Baton Rouge, especially during legislative sessions, and periodically in New Orleans. Do you have a similar read with how people looked at the closed primary?
I do. I think there was a bipartisan dislike for the closed primary system. Now, that may be just because people aren't used to it. Maybe they'll warm up to it in the future. but the Republicans and Democrats that I talked to did not like it. The no party people did not like it, and many. I think it created a lot of confusion, which maybe led some to suppressed some turnout as well. Which the Secretary of State, our chief elections officer, said that conceded there was a lot of confusion. It is the first time in a couple of decades that we've had this system, and it's not universal. It only was for certain races. So you would think that there would be some confusion, even among people you would consider informed voters. So it's very unpopular now. I think that's clear, but I don't know if that's just because people didn't quite understand it, not used to it, and will warm to it in the future, or if it will remain unpopular and that it will be rolled back. There are efforts to roll back the close primaries in some of the elections already. With the Bessie, I believe I've passed. I'm trying to think, but so we'll see what happens in the future.
It seems, and this for either one of you guys, the plan worked from day one to get Julia Letlow elected. Is that accurate? I mean, when I say the plan, I mean, this was something that was thought out. I mean, this didn't just happen.
Well, Ro, one of the beliefs out there is that Jeff Landry wanted the closed primary system to be able to make it harder for Bill Cassidy to win re-election, because in an open primary, he could appeal to Democrats or in a much better way, or moderate Republicans perhaps too.
Right.
A really interesting question, going back to Cassidy, is that President Trump endorsed Julia Letlow 4 days after Cassidy had his deadline to decide whether to run as an independent in the race. If Cassidy had decided to run as an independent race, he would still be on the ballot. He would have gone on the ballot straight in to the November election, and he would then now be competing against Letlow and Jamie Davis, and that's a race he could very well win.
Right.
But Cassidy stayed a Republican. Trump endorsed Letlow, and in a closed primary, we just saw the results where Julia Letlow now is the heavy favorite to win the race over Jamie Davis in November.
Greg?
I think that it illustrated the sheer power of Trump's endorsement among Republicans across the country and in Louisiana. Those that vote, not just, especially, of course, what's referred to as the MAGA Republicans, but his record is nearly 100%. I did a story about it. Talked to Pearson Cross, a well-known political analyst. Tyler also uses Pearson for analysis. And he says he's never seen anything like it as far as the power of Trump's endorsement among Republicans. And so that was just, too much to overcome for John Fleming, the treasurer. We didn't mention that Congressman Letlow beat. We did mention it, but his name, John Fleming, and probably potentially ended his political career. I'm not sure that Treasurer Fleming will run for re-election again. I think it's probably unlikely. But it illustrated the power of Trump in Louisiana among Republicans.
So as we look at what happened in the election, do you think that the early voting in the primary, the closed primary and the closed primary runoff were good indicators of what might happen, Tyler?
There was a poll that I reported on by a guy in New Orleans named Greg Rigamer, and he polled the people who had early voted, and he saw that, and according to his poll, Fleming had a 1-point advantage over Letlow of the early voters. So on election night, the first returns that you see that pop up on the screen are early voters, and the Fleming campaign needed those first batch of numbers to show that she was leading because of the expectation that Letlow would run stronger of those who voted on election day. And when those initial numbers popped up and showed that Letlow had a 2 or 3 point advantage, it was clear to the real insiders that Letlow was going to win the race when more votes were counted on Saturday night.
How does that look to you, Greg, in northern Louisiana, central Louisiana, the early vote?
Well, it's like Tyler said, when those early vote popped in, I think it was maybe 54, 46, which is a big margin. That's not close. And the Fleming camp was counting on those early voters. I think there had been some momentum in the media, and some of my stories that I reported on with people saying that they thought the race was going to be closer. And of course, it turned out to be a blowout. It wasn't close at all. So yes, when we saw those early votes coming in, it was clear that it would be no contest at the end of the night.
All right. Well, we've got a caller. Good morning, Reverend Calhoun. You're on with Will Sutton, Roe Brown, and of course, Greg Hilburn and Tyler Bridges. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. So my question is simple. When we look across the state at what and how the elections was won, which I do think that this primary system was set up for confusion and to stop more people from voting. What does it look like going forward? Did it seem like some of the mega people did not go out to vote? You said it looked like we only had 17% or something turnout. So that turnout was those who did not turn out were the mega people, or were they just, who were they? Is there any information toward that?
All right. Good question.
I'll hang up.
All right. Lord's blessings. Have a great day. Guys, any insights? Greg?
I think some of the, I believe that with that anemic turnout of, it'll be 15 to 17%. I can't think, Tyler, is what I remember. It showed that the turnout was low for everyone, for the MAGA Republicans, all Republicans, all Democrats. Maybe in addition to the confusion of the voters faced over the closed primary, I think also some of the energy was taken out of the runoff. Once Cassidy was, out of the race, once he was defeated and his career ended, I think that was a primary goal of the president and many of the MAGA Republicans in the state. And so once he was out, I think that also took some energy out of the race. I'm not sure that you guys agree with me on that, but I think that's possible.
Okay. So, Alan?
No, I agree with Greg that Cassidy out of the race removed some of the energy and the reason for some people to vote. But going back to your question of early voting, the early voting figures showed that among Republicans, there were about early voting compared to the primary, early voting in the runoff compared to early voting in the primary was down about 25% among Republicans. It was down about 50% among Democrats. So going to Reverend Calhoun's question, there was a significant drop-off, even more so among Democrats than there was among Republicans in the runoff.
Okay. All right, we got another caller. Good morning, Ryan. You're on Will Sutton, Roe Brown, and Greg Hilburn, and Tyler Bridges. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Fabulous.
Cool. I just first wanted to say I disagree strongly that she's a heavy favorite to win in the fall.
Okay.
It's hot out here. I imagine we're going to have a better turnout in the fall when it's a little bit, the climate's a little easier on everybody's physical nature. Mm-hmm. Also, I think that, people are starting to see through the cracks in the whole, and they're just going to, if they continue to irritate the heck out of us, you're going to see a different coalition form, I believe. That's my hope, prayers. And, obviously a lot of people need to get on the ground and do a lot of work. But let's not have a defeatist attitude about this. I think it's easily flipped if people get their mind right is put forth. Thank you for all of the work that y'all do. Love you.
All righty.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Lord's blessing, sir. This is based on history and track record, is it not?
Yeah. It's you look at the facts. Is no Democrat has been elected to the Senate since 2008 when Mary Landrieu won re-election.
Mm-hmm.
All the statewide elected officials in Louisiana are Republican. The legislature is 2/3 Republican. In the vote count of Saturday in the election, there are a lot more Republicans voted people voted in the Republican primary than the Democratic Party primary. So I think that's fair to say that she's a heavy favorite. Does that mean she's going to win? Well, we don't know yet. Is Jamie Davis have a path? Yeah, he does have a path. I would probably say it's pretty narrow, but in a Republican state like this, a lot of things have to go right for Jamie Davis. And one of the big questions, I have a story on the front page of the Times-Picayune today and on NOLA.com for people if they want to read it. And I quoted James Carville saying a big question for Jamie Davis is, can he raise the money to be able to get out his message? Because he does have a good bio.
Yeah. So, Greg, Jamie Davis does have a good bio, farmer. This is not his first time running for election. He has that experience. He has a lot of community business and parish experience. How has Jamie Davis, as a senatorial candidate, been perceived in his hometown, his home parish, and across northern Louisiana, where people know him best? And do they like him? They've liked him for other things, but can't see him to be a U.S. senator, or do you think there might be some motivated people to say we can make this happen?
Well, Jamie Davis, he does have a good story. He's the son of a sharecropper, and the second farming the same land that he's the grandson of a sharecropper, tilling the same land that his grandfather farmed in Tensall Parish, which is probably the second poorest parish in the state, behind maybe East Carroll. He is banking on a message of affordability, which is that will resonate in a state that where social progressive issues may not. And I think the problem for Jamie Davis, as Tyler mentioned, is yes, he's got a likable story, a message that could resonate with Democrats. But you ask how they feel about him. I don't think they know him. I'm not sure he went up on TV at all. He hadn't had the money to. You've got to have money to be able to tell your story and have people know what that story is. So will he raise that money? Will the National Democrats help in a state that they don't believe they can win? Let's be frank. I don't know. So Jamie's path to winning, if there is a path, it's the eye of the needle.
Okay.
Yeah. How many statewide elected black people have we had?
You mean since Reconstruction?
Obviously, yeah. I'm not talking about Oscar Dunn and Pinchback and those people.
Your history, Ro, it's none. And I should mention, and I know Greg knows this too, that Jamie Davis is making history. He is the first black person to be a finalist in a Senate election. I think at least going to Reconstruction.
And that's something. That's good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
that has to factor in.
We've had two black men run for governor. I think I'm correct in saying this in recent decades. Cleo Fields in 1995, or at least be and make the runoff. And Bill Jefferson, I guess Bill Jefferson didn't make the run. Bill Jefferson in 1999, and then Sean Wilson in 2023. So Jamie Davis is making history in a Senate race.
Yeah, indeed. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, let's dive into this some more and maybe project forward as we look at what's happening in Louisiana and the national landscape. It is 7:46 a.m. This is WBOK AM. This is the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton here with Ro Brown. We're talking with Greg Kilburn from Gannett and Tyler Bridges from the Times-Picayune, NOLA.com. Greg, Tyler, we thank you for being here. I hope you got a few more minutes. Ro, what's that talk line number?
504-582-9422.
This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal is partnering with a tech wonderland right in the middle of New York City. It's called Tomorrow, stylized as TM:RW. And it's designed to showcase the tech and innovation of the future.
Robots, dog robots, holograms, headphones, glasses, meta glasses. Just, it's a beautiful place to be. And I think if you're ever in Times Square, you should definitely check it out.
In this conversation on Bloomberg, Shaq explained why he decided to throw his money behind the Times Square-based store.
Well, I always invest in things that I first believe in and, things that are going to change people's lives. This is something that, there's not really a lot of competition out there. And I know once people come inside the store, they will love what they see and they will fall in love with what they see.
Stop by and you might even see Shaq himself, or maybe even a hologram of him.
A beautiful, sexy hologram. It's a hologram, a beautiful, sexy hologram.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
It's deck days at Lowe's, and the savings are stacked. Right now, pros get 15% off all in-stock composite decking from top brands like Trex, TimberTech, and Decorators. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. The deck's stacked in your favor with brands pros trust. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 12:30 a.m. every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 12:30 a.m. or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Life has a way of shifting priorities, changing needs, and pivoting plans. Home Bank is there for all of them. Their bankers partner with you for every step along the way, from understanding your needs to celebrating your success. Home Bank is invested in the vibrant spirit of our community and in you. So partner with them. Stop on by any banking center in the greater New Orleans area or visit home24bank.com to get started today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, a member of the FDIC.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Ro Brown. It is 7:51 a.m. Please be careful as you're going about your day. If you're getting into a vehicle of whatever kind and you got 9 minutes to get there by 8 a.m., be safe. I'd rather not report the news that you've been injured or worse, and certainly don't want to report the news that our babies and kiddos have been hurt. So make sure that you are being safe as you head out. Take your time because the babies and the kiddos are all over the place and not just around schools today. We're in conversation with Greg Hilburn from Gannett and Tyler Bridges from the Times-Picayune, NOLA.com, the advocate about the election and election results. So, guys, what has it looked like through this campaign season with black voters? Have black voters been motivated to vote in the Republican closed primary and runoff? Have they been motivated to vote in the closed primary for the Democrats or the runoff? And did you see much action with Cassidy's effort to get Democrats to vote in the closed Republican primary? Tyler?
Yeah, Will, there was something that was really interesting in the primary, which was that the turnout of black voters was actually higher than white voters. Traditionally in elections, for whatever reason, white voters turn out at a higher percentage, a higher rate than black voters do. But again, on May 16th in the primary, the black turnout was higher than the white turnout. Why was that so? The best evidence is that that election was held just after the redistricting fight, where Jeff Landry in the legislature turned a black majority seat held by Cleo Fields into a white majority seat following the Supreme Court decision. And there was I was at the Capitol. There was hundreds of people showed up there to protest that. There was a legislative hearing that went almost all night. People were speaking against it. And also on May 16th, there were 5 constitutional amendments, and Governor Landry was pushing 3 of them. The one that got most of the attention was for teacher pay. And looks like black voters, Democratic voters, turned out, particularly on May 16th, to show their anger, their protest at redistricting and also the constitutional amendments. And so those amendments, all 5 went down. But again, in the election we just saw Saturday, the Democratic turnout was substantially lower than the Republican turnout. And because the majority of the voters in the Democratic Party are now African American, we can assume that the black vote was down in the runoff as well.
Okay, Greg?
I think that Tyler is spot on. The energy generated by the governor and the legislature's decision to eliminate a majority black congressional district following the Supreme Court ruling energized Democrats and black voters in particular. It's an interesting tidbit, by the way. For the first time in history, it's more symbolic than practical because we know Louisiana has been a Republican state, a red wave over the last 20 or more years. But on July 1st, the Republicans will officially take over as having more registered voters than Democrats. I think that's the first time in modern history.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So, Ro?
So, what are we looking at in Julia Letlow as a senator? I mean, are we looking at rubber stamp?
Well,
anything he wants?
Ro, I'm going to push back on your question if you don't mind, because you just had a caller point out that she hadn't won yet. And
okay,
I used the phrase earlier. She's the heavy favorite, but Jamie Davis has got a race to run. Greg probably knows him better from being up there in northeast Louisiana, but I have found Jamie to be a very authentic guy. Seems pretty down to earth. Can he raise the money, as Greg was talking about earlier, to get out his message? Because that's ultimately the way you reach voters in Louisiana. There's something like 3 million registered voters in the state. You can't shake 3 million hands. The way for decades now you reach people is through TV, and you do that through campaign contributions. And are people going to want to give money to Jamie Davis to get out his message in a state where Republicans are in control and Jamie Davis is not expected to win?
Greg, what's your thought with Julia Letlow being out of Monroe and Start, and how much does that help her vis-a-vis Jamie coming out of Tensaw? So basically, a couple of northern Louisiana, northeastern Louisiana folks. Is that going to make much of a difference, or is it going to be strictly political, Democrat, Republican?
Will make some difference, because this, as we know, everybody will be able to vote in the November 3rd election for whichever candidate you want. So that will help her. I will say to Rose's question about what kind of senator Congressman Letlow will make if she's elected as expected to be, and I don't think there's any question about it. Her entire campaign was based on her support from President Trump. So I absolutely believe that she will fall right in line with the president. I don't think there was any danger that she'll be bucking the president on any issue. So I think you can expect more of that if you vote for Congressman Letlow.
Okay, and will it be beneficial for Louisiana, Tyler?
That's probably in the eyes of the beholder. As Greg points out,
it's true.
Letlow has made it clear, as Greg said, that she is going to be a 100% Trumper.
All right, Greg, you agree? Beneficial
Absolutely.
for Louisiana?
She does. We'll have a relationship now, obviously, with the president, so that helps. But no matter what you think of the president, if you have a close relationship with the president, then that can help your state. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for this segment about the election that just passed and looking forward beyond. Looking, first of all, seeing what happens in November and then seeing what happens beyond November. Fascinating campaign. No longer will we have Bill Cassidy as a U.S. Senator. One last question. What does Bill Cassidy do? Tyler?
Well, he calls himself Dr. Cassidy. He views himself more as a doctor than as a senator. So I would think he'll do something in the medical field, but he has an opportunity to make a lot of money since he's currently chairs the Senate Health Committee to be an advisor and ultimately a lobbyist if he wants to be.
Greg, what is Bill Cassidy?
He's made it clear that he's retiring from elective office. So his career as a doctor or as a lobbyist, or even as back home with his grandkids, we'll see. But he will not. I don't ever expect him to run for office again.
All right. Thank you guys very much. Thank you for this engaging conversation. It's 7:59 a.m. and now it's 8 a.m. This is WBOK. We're going to be taking a break, and when we come back, we will take some calls and share more news and information with you. I'm Will Sutton, and I'm here with Ro Brown. Ro, what's that talk line number?
You can call 504-582-9422.
This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
WBOK New Orleans. Home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. A mega heat dome is set to hit the eastern half of the U.S. this week. Forecasters say 2 small heat domes will collide, making for one large heat dome that will send temperatures soaring. So when can we expect some relief?
It's hard to say exactly how long the heat dome will last. It could loosen its grip a little for the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast during the 4th of July holiday weekend.
President Donald Trump is deeply unpopular in Michigan, according to a new Epic MRA poll that finds his approval rating has hit a record low of 33%. That's the lowest mark Trump has ever hit in his 2 terms as president. And Toy Story 5 made another $70 million in its second weekend, for a total of more than $297 million domestically. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. It is 8:02 a.m. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Ro Brown. That was a good conversation.
Yeah. On and off the air.
Yeah, that too. It's a shame we can't at least play snippets from off the air.
Well,
so we can, so.
I mean, I can give my snippet.
Yeah, well, you can. So let's run it back.
It's not happening.
And it's not happening because
white Louisiana voters are not going to vote for a black guy for a statewide or a black woman for a statewide position.
But he's a farmer.
He's a black farmer.
Which
means that to a lot of
lots of acres.
That's right.
They
That's
own
right.
family acres, other people's acres.
That's right.
And
That's
they
right.
turn it over. And
That's right.
he said when he was here that he's had a tough time of it, nearly faced bankruptcy. But when you nearly face bankruptcy or face it and recover from it, that takes a lot of work.
Jamie Davis is a black farmer, and he sounds like he's a successful black farmer. But to a lot of white people, if you are a farmer, you shouldn't be a senator. If you are a farmer and you're a black farmer, it probably means some degree of, for lack of a better word, ignorance or whatever. But if you are a white farmer, you're a businessman. And I just don't think that people that, white people in this state, and in most states, it's not just Louisiana, are going to vote for a black person for a statewide position in the state. Like I said, it hasn't happened since Reconstruction. And I just think that, it's I hope that I'm wrong, and I know that some people say this is a defeatist attitude, but I think it's reality.
I hear you. Well, there are farmers who are U.S. senators and congressional representatives.
I know.
And so I'm sure you know, and I'm sure other people know. So just some context. So when I have looked at somewhere between 5 to 10%, so it's not like it's some big majority. Of course, there's lots of attorneys
Mm-hmm.
in
Mhm.
Congress,
Mhm.
but there are farmers,
Mhm.
and it's not like it's one or two. So you got one name people might recognize is Chuck Grassley from
Right.
Iowa,
Mhm.
lifelong farmer,
Mhm.
very successful U.S. Senator, and Republican.
Mhm.
And he's looked out for crops issues and bankruptcy and all. And John Tester from Montana actually moved into the organic farming business in Montana.
Yeah,
So-
Tester. Always heard him talking about farming.
yeah,
you know, yeah. Mhm.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
you got folks out of Iowa and Maine and
Mhm.
Washington State, California. Jim Costa might be a name that some people might recall hearing. These are farmers. And I guess your point is, which of them are black?
Yeah.
None of them.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they have to be. I'm just saying that it's, you know, I'm just saying that white voters will look at him differently because he is a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
They will look at him differently as, you know, does he have the background,
Right.
you know, to be a U.S. senator, you know,
Mm-hmm.
knowing or maybe not even knowing that these other people who have been, you know, like John Tester and Grassley and them are farmers as well.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, you just looked at differently.
Yeah.
In any kind of situation, I think.
Indeed.
You know, be it farmer, be it football player, be it, you know, whatever. It's, you know, you kind of looked at differently, you know. Barack Obama is looked at differently as president than other people.
Mm-hmm. Even now.
Yeah. You know, it's just, it's just how it is, okay? I mean, it's not defeatist, it's reality.
Yeah. Well, we got a caller. Let's see what Piper thinks. Good morning, Piper. You're on with Will Sutton and Ro Brown. How are you?
I'm doing well, brothers. I'm doing well. And Ro, I agree with you, but two things can be true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, white Republican Louisianans and hell, some white Democrats are not going to vote for a black former, especially a black former, to be their senator. But so the key is think about why the fight is to limit our vote, because when we show up, and that's the key. Landry is in office right now because 39% of Louisiana registered voters turned out. That's it, 39%.
Yep.
25% of Democrats. So and that's on all of us, is to change the narrative. And you know, like I say, we can shock these guys and just show up at the polls. Now, unfortunately, as a community, we're a little apathetic when it comes to voting. But we have to, we have a couple of months to get our people out there, get registered, turn out to vote. And, like I said, we can shock this thing, because I think on the other side, because they see it as a win, that turnout is going to be low. I mean, historically, the state votes low. So we just have to engage our people to get out there and then find those moderate whites, those independent whites, voters, and that care about issues that's going on, and not bandwagon. And say, okay, let's get out there.
Piper, you went out for a few seconds, maybe up to 20 even. Can you repeat some of what you were saying?
How about now?
Yeah, better.
I hear you.
Okay, I don't know where I lost you. The thing is, we just have to shock these guys, get our people out there to vote. Whatever it's going to take, and it's going to take all of us.
Yeah, and
all 64 parishes. If we focus on the areas that the governor and legislature had targeted us to come after us, if we focus right there and get those communities energized. Just think about, if you get help, you get 70%. Well, I'm not going to lose my mind. I'll say 50% of just Orleans Parish black voters to show up. You can make a big difference. Like I say, because I think statewide, it's midterm. I don't think it's going to be especially on the side where they don't see.
Well, Pop, you're still breaking up now and then, but I agree with you. I agree with you. Like you said, two things can be true. Okay, but right now only one thing is true. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. One thing is proven. Now we have to prove the other one.
Yeah, I agree. I agree if that happens. Yeah, if that happens, I wish, and I hope, and I've always hoped and prayed that something like that would happen. But I'm speaking of what's going on now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You just go out now and then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's just but we.
Piper?
Yeah, you're kind of going in and out.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, hey, the
All right, we couldn't hear you, Piper. I wish we could hear the last part of that, but
we understand.
Yeah. All right, no problem. All right. Well, thank you for trying. Lord's blessings. Have a great day. All right. So we are getting some good engagement on that. I mean, of course, one of the biggest issues is I don't think there's I won't say any, and many black folks who would say, I don't care who it is, I want the black person to win. Because there are, Clarence Thomases and folk like that who definitely are black, born black, always will be black, but not philosophically aligned. But certainly more of us want to see the black guy, the black woman win with the understanding that they're going to be more in sync, not 100%, but more in sync with what things that we want. The tough part is that with 60 to 70% of registered Democratic voters are black, but that's only registered.
Yeah,
they're not voting.
Right.
And then there's a whole bunch of other people who aren't registered to vote.
Mm-hmm.
If we just started with the 60 to 70% of registered Democratic voters and found a way to have some of the 10 to 15% registered black Republican voters, the man wins.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But we're not showing a track record of coming out to vote in large enough numbers. With a 28% turnout in May, the outcome could have been different. With 17% turnout just Saturday, the result could have been different. But it's not over because the U.S. Senate race continues into the fall. So the history is that it's highly favorable, as Tyler Bridges said, for Julia Letlow to win. And as Greg Hilburn said, it's the threading a needle pathway. But there is a pathway, and the biggest pathway I see is for registered voters to vote and for unregistered voters to get registered and vote.
Votes cast Saturday. And understanding that nowadays, Orleans Parish isn't the largest parish. Okay. 7,000, and I got this from the map that's in the newspaper. In Orleans Parish, 7,548 votes were cast.
Say that again?
7,548 votes were cast on Sunday. St. Tammany Parish, 31,586 votes were cast. Okay, I'm just going by, kind of metropolitan New Orleans. In Jefferson Parish, 26,384 votes were cast.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah. Terrebonne had 6,229 votes cast.
Mm.
That's kind of surprising. That's, they're less than 1,000 votes behind Orleans Parish.
Yeah.
In votes cast.
Wow.
In Terrebonne Parish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yeah. And the only reason I'm saying that is because, it's like you said, it's, people got to vote.
Indeed.
People have to vote.
Indeed.
I've always said that Barack Obama wasn't elected twice, to a degree because some white people voted for him. But he got elected because a lot of black people voted who didn't usually vote and voted because it was him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
I may be wrong. Like I always tell you, I'm just a sports guy. Okay?
There you go again.
I am. That's all I am. That's all I am.
Oh boy. Well, good conversation with Greg and Tyler, and congratulations to Julia Letlow for her work. That has really been Trump's work.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, he announced her before she announced.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Jamie Davis. Doubt that we can get Ms. Letlow on today, but hopefully one day before the general election, we might be able to get her on. And let's see if we can get Mr. Davis on before we get off the air to hear from him about this narrow path that Tyler and Greg were talking about, and frankly, what history shows.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in it to win it. I'd love to hear what he says about how he can win and how he can get the money that he needs to tell his story. So hopefully we'll be hearing from him, if not today, tomorrow. But we'll see how that moves along. We will be talking about some sports, Hall of Fame, things that happened last week. And so we're going to be doing that soon after the break. And hopefully we'll get Mr. Davis before we get off the air. It is 8:18 a.m. and this is Will Sutton. I am with Ro Brown. And we'll be back after this break. Ro, what's that talk line number?
The number is, write it down and give us a call, 504-582-9422.
This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
And here are today's headlines for you. Starting today, businesses on Decatur Street impacted by that ongoing construction can file for grants through the Greater New Orleans Foundation. Owners can file for up to $5,000 depending on the businesses. City officials say the French Market Corporation pooled resources together to get the program underway. And this comes as several of those businesses are taking legal action against the Sewage and Water Board for what they say has been a constant lack of accountability. Since this construction has happened, 3 businesses on Decatur have shut down, and now owners are asking the courts to step in. More demands call for restored pedestrian access where construction isn't happening, a 72-hour heads up on changes, and affected businesses to have their sewage and water bills suspended during construction. Well, in sports news this morning, the Pelicans are set to introduce their draft pick, St. Aug high school star Jaron Pierre Jr. Pierre played at 4 different colleges. He started at Southern Miss, then went to Wichita State, then to Jacksonville State in Alabama, and ended his college career at Southern Methodist University. His introduction is set for 10 a.m. And that is a look for you at today's headlines.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks
and Kimber White Dupree
from the Front Porch.
Some combos are too good to miss. Now you can pull up a chair to the front porch anytime.
Just search WBOK Media and subscribe to the Front Porch Podcast.
Download, share, and hit us with a 5-star rating because New Orleans culture deserves to be heard loud and clear.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
Guess what, y'all? Community Book Center, after 14 years, is once again the official bookstore of the 2026 Essence Festival. I'm Vera Warren Williams, founder of Community Book Center. Please join us at the Ernest Morial Convention Center, July 3rd through the 5th, for Black culture's biggest weekend. We also invite you to visit our store at 2523 Bayou Road, along with the other Black businesses on historic Bayou Road. Community Book Center, more than a bookstore.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Another hot start to the work week. Highs for today, 92 to 97 degrees, feeling like 105 and above. No heat advisory is in effect, but we will be looking at a small chance for a shower or two, although most of us will stay dry. Lows tonight, 73 to 79, and then for Tuesday, another hot day, 93 to 97. Midweek rain chances start on Wednesday. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Russo.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton. I'm here with Ro Brown. It is 8:23 a.m. Got somewhere to be at 8:25. You got 2 minutes, and you got a little bit more time if you need to be there at 8:30. But whatever you do, please, when you get up and get out of there, your household, your condo, your apartment, wherever you hang out and sleep at night, and then head out in a vehicle, please don't be one of the crazy drivers. Make sure you take care of yourself. Be a defensive driver. Look out for the others. And remember, we got lots of babies and kiddos out there who might be on their phones or not paying attention. So we got to count on you to make sure everybody is safe. All right, right now we got a special caller. We're going to go to the phone lines. Good morning, Mr. Jamie Davis. You are on with Will Sutton and Ro Brown. How are you, sir?
I am doing well, Mr. Sutton. How you doing today?
Fabulous. Congratulations. Congratulations. You just made history, my man.
Oh, man. All right.
Well, you may not realize
You get bell rings. You get bell rings.
You may not realize it, but you did, because we've had black folks run statewide. We've not had anybody, black folk, win statewide. And we have had black folks run, but not get to be the nominee. And here you are.
Yes. Man, I'm honored, but my thing is, I just truly want Louisiana to to just have the opportunity to be one of the best states in the nation. I just want our future to be bright. I want Louisiana to be a place that everybody wants to call it home. Everybody wants to come and visit Louisiana, New Orleans, our great hunting places and our good lakes to fish. They come to visit Louisiana for our culture, our food, but nobody wants to stay. And I just want this place that I call home to be that place, because that means my grandbabies will stay home. That means your grandbabies will stay home, Mr. Sutton. That means we don't have population loss. We just want to work and make Louisiana the place that we want it to be, and that's where it is for me. So it's not about making history, even though the history came. I want it to be about getting the job done to make this place that we call home what we want it to be.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I asked you on Friday about if you were a Republican, who you would vote for, of course, that's not possible in your reality, because that's not happening. And I would assume I know who you voted for in the Democratic closed primary runoff. I can be 100% confident it's either that vote or that you missed it, which I can't imagine either. But when you answered the question with such a narrow focus, you said Fleming. But he didn't win.
No.
But your competitor.
But I want you to also repeat the rest of that statement that I said.
Absolutely. because he's less mega than Julia Letlow. And because you could
more mega than Julia.
He's more mega. Yeah, I'm sorry, more mega than Julia Letlow, and that you figured that you could beat him.
Yeah, but I also said that I could beat both of them.
Right.
Because she has a record that she has to defend.
Yeah.
And the record that she has to defend shows that she's not a candidate for the people of Louisiana. And I'm not sitting here throwing political blows. Those are just facts. That's what all of the people that I look to for political advice. When I was young and needing advice, they always told me that you have to defend your record. So just don't make dumb votes. And I'm not saying that somebody is dumb. That was the advice that I was given, to not do things that will work against the people that have to elect you. And so she has to defend her record, period. And we will remind the people of what their own party has been saying about her. We don't have to do it because they did it. Mm-hmm. Fleming and also Dr. Cassidy, they both showed who she was in all of their ads that they ran. So we don't have to throw political punches. The punches have been thrown. She just has to continue to answer the punches, because that's what policy and politics is about. You have to answer to what you've done in your past. Mm-hmm. That's just like we already know that there are going to be all kinds of diversions that are going to come, at me with all of the things that I, stand for. I can already see that every affiliation with anybody that I have, if there's something negative that they can turn it to, they're going to turn it to it. Yeah. And what I want to say to the people is, hey, look, I've been running a long time, even though the press didn't show much of us, even though the papers or the TV news and all didn't give us a real chance. We were very, very last. in getting attention from anybody. That's just like here at home in North Louisiana. I was watching the news this morning, and my local, which, you know, is still not right next door because where I live at in Faraday, my closest TV station that I get is Monroe. And Monroe, Congresswoman Letlow lives now in Baton Rouge, but I know she is the big ticket item when it comes to news. But they showed her victory this morning on the news and never mentioned who she was running against. And I live right up the road from them.
Yeah. So
that's what we're faced with.
So, Mr. Davis, this is Ro Brown. First of all, congratulations. So,
how you doing, Mr. Brown?
All right. Having said that, who are you and why should I vote for you? We've talked this morning about you have a really good story, okay? And you know what I mean by your story. I mean, your life. I mean, who are you? Why should I vote?
That's my story. That is my life. Yeah. I mean, for the person that don't have a clue who Jamie Davis is, Jamie Davis is a farmer from Tensas Parish. I'm married. I've got 4 kids, 13 grandkids, 3 great-grands. I've helped serve my community in different ways. I'm a member of the Harvest Baptist Church. I volunteer for Head Start. I'm also on a member of the Rural Railroad Modal, member of Farm Bureau, Cotton Committee, also the Grain Committee. I'm just a country guy that wants better for my community. Because when I started this journey, you know, being here from rural Tensas, I know what I was faced with at home. But as I started to move around the state, it became very apparent that Louisiana is in a bad shape. And there are places in Louisiana that looks just like Tensas, but there's places like that all over the state. People are hurting. And we have so much more in common than we do different. And people will try to make Jamie out to be something that he's not, but I am just a simple guy that wants better for Louisiana because I don't want to work all of my life to work hard, own a farm, pay for it, and the area in which I live, nobody fought for it, and in 20 years, nobody in Louisiana will want to live in rural Louisiana, period. Which means that Louisiana will turn into country and urban. And life in between the places will just be lost.
So one of the things that it's going to take to have a successful campaign going into the fall is money. As OJ said, money, 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 money. So that's that type of money usually wouldn't come from somebody of your level of success, and definitely from other party figures in the state, and then the National Democratic Committee. How likely is it that you will be able to tell your story and make your case on the different platforms, television, radio, social media, and otherwise, with the kind of money that you want and need? And can you count on the National Democratic Party?
Yes, I believe I can count on the National Democratic Party because now some people may call this being naive, but if a man give me his word, I'm going to accept his word until I prove it to be a lie. And we had a meeting with Ken Martin when the National Democratic Party came to New Orleans, and he tells me to my face, not on a phone call, but to my face, that if we win this election, that he would come back to Louisiana to help raise money. He would come back to Louisiana to help knock doors. He would come back to Louisiana to make sure that he and the National Democratic Party do everything within their powers to help us have an effective campaign. So going back to myself, can the farmer from Tensas raise money? Well, I'm sitting here in front of my computer with my fundraising app pulled up, and it says that I've had 95,999 contributions for a grand total of about $1.8 million.
Since when?
So, since December.
Oh, okay, good.
So, I'm saying that and all of those are individual contributions. I'm saying that if people can look past what their thoughts are and open their minds up to what could be, and just give the farmer from Tensas the same doubt, the same benefit that they would give whomever they thought was the ideal candidate. Because here it is, Mr. Sutton, the ideal candidate that's well-funded in Louisiana politics have not gotten it done since 2008 when Senator Landrieu won her last stretch. So if you continue to do the same things looking for a different outcome, somebody told me that was insanity. So when is the last time we've had a candidate that has generated this much press for the United States Senate? Why do people continue to have to put the farmer from Tensas in a box and just not say, hey man, this guy is proven. Everything I've worked in my life and in this campaign, I've worked for it and achieved it myself. I've shown that no matter whoever you throw up against me, that I will give them a challenge.
And have you seen any contributions since Saturday night?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we have.
What kind of contributions have you seen?
We raised $80,000 since Saturday night.
Okay, good. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right.
Have you run for public office or been elected to any public office before? Not that that's important, but just for people to know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is not Mr. Francis. This is Mr. Brown. Yeah, you weren't there with me on Friday.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've held.
But we got some new listeners, and I want them to hear who you are. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I've held public office in Tensas Parish before. I was the vice president of parish government in Tensas Parish. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I know you got to get some rest, and on the raising money and sharpening your priorities and strategies and all. So we really appreciate you taking a little break to spend some time with us on the Monday morning after your successful nomination as the Democratic nominee for U.S. Senate.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time. And like I said, it's an honor to be on your radio station, sir. I mean, I know anybody can call in, but to be one of the persons that you actually want to talk to on the radio, it means a lot to me. It really does.
Well, we appreciate you making time.
Well, it's an honor for us to talk to you too, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Lord's blessings. Have a great day. Okay. The Democratic nominee for U.S. Senate representing Louisiana, Jamie Davis. Congratulations to him again. He's raised some money since Saturday night and looking to raise more. Good news that he had that conversation with Ken Martin, the head of the Democratic National Convention. So he put it, I'm sure that was a conversation in a room or a hall or wherever, but Mr. Davis just put it out there. So I guess we'll see if Mr. Martin follows up. So I think we'll go to break, and when we come back, we got to talk about what happened the last few days with Sports Hall of Fame. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Ro Brown, and we'll be back after the break. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Just how badly did Trump trash the White House? Well, let me count the ways. The New York Times editorial describes the UFC Freedom 250 blood sports event on the White House lawn as a garish spectacle of American decline. The Independent News op-ed condemned the event as an unserious American cage fight. That's right, a $60 million UFC-sponsored brawl on the White House lawn to celebrate Trump's 80th birthday and a tribute to the nation's 250th anniversary. The country's 250th anniversary notwithstanding, this was all about Trump, along with the billionaire sycophants and others who came to pay homage to the would-be king. As a former CBS News White House correspondent, I'm accustomed to the pomp and circumstance of ceremonial receptions held in honor of dignitaries, both national and international. But I was stunned to see the People's House transformed into a beer-chugging brawl fest devoid of class and dignity. There were fights inside the ring, and then there was a drunken brawl outside the ring that resulted in an arrest. But perhaps the lowest point of the event occurred when UFC fighter Josh Hokett stood in the middle of the ring and called former First Lady Michelle Obama a man. The White House offered no apology. Nonetheless, the comment by Hokett drew widespread criticism. The remark, of course, is untrue, transphobic, and racist. But remember, Trump has also disparaged the Obamas, even posting an image of the former president and former First Lady as primates on social media. In addressing the insults regarding the Obamas and the debacle on the White House lawn, podcaster Charlemagne the God put it best, saying, "The Obamas set a masterclass standard for decency, poise, and intelligence. And now, with Trump, that bar is in hell." This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch, y'all. You know how we do. Every Monday is Moving Monday.
And Tuesday is Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, the station you listen to.
All day long. Step back in time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum, located in the heart of the Warehouse District in New Orleans. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling America's story in the war that changed everything, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. It's an experience. Plan your visit today at nationalww2museum.org. World War II Museum, where history lives.
Real talk. I look forward to Essence Festival every single year. This year, July 3rd through the 5th. New Orleans Essence Festival of Culture is back for 2026 and is presented by Coca-Cola. This lineup, man, Cardi B, Patti LaBelle, Brandy and Monica together, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, Kalani, Lotto, Leon Thomas, Public Enemy, and Babyface. I need you to understand what this weekend feels like. The energy, the fashion, and man, oh man, the food. New Orleans is already magic, and Essence makes it supernatural. However you're getting there, wherever you're coming from, you need to be in that building July 3rd through the 5th. Go to EssenceFestival.com. right now. Get your tickets. Do not wait.
Hey, Delta Utilities natural gas customers. Your new and improved online customer service experience is here. Visit mydu.com to track your usage, choose convenient payment options, learn how to read your bill, and more. If you prefer to pay in person, our customer payment centers are open and ready to serve you. Delta Utilities at mydu.com. That's mydu.com. Improved customer service with you in mind.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK 1230 AM. Also streaming live on WBOK's YouTube channel, Instagram, and, of course, Facebook Live. So, Ro Brown, we've got a few sports things that happened over the last several days. And
What you want to talk about?
I want you to talk about
What do you want to talk
Hall
about?
of Fame.
I don't know if I could talk about
Anybody we know got into the Hall of Fame?
Well, last Wednesday was the New Orleans Sports Hall of Fame. First of all, I'll get that one. The All-State Sugar Bowl New Orleans Sports Hall of Fame. 3 inductees this year. Bo McCaleb, outstanding basketball player from Old Perry Walker, the University of New Orleans. All-time leading scorer at UNO, soon to be LSUNO again. And is the all-time leading scorer in the Sun Belt Conference. Even though UNO is no longer in that conference, he remains all-time leading scorer and had an outstanding career over in Macedonia. Yep.
All right.
Professional career over there. Yeah, did really well. This weekend was the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame inductions in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Yes, that's where the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is located there. Yes, they do have a building. Yes, it is a museum and all that good stuff, and you can go up there and see it. And if you ever passing through Natchitoches, you should go and see it. Several inductees. First of all, Joe Horn. Everybody knows him. New Orleans Saints wide receiver. Of cell phone fame and all that good stuff.
Can't forget that video.
Can't forget that. Yep. John Brady, basketball coach at LSU. The last time LSU made it to the Final Four in 2006. With a team full of Louisiana players. John Brady was inducted. Dwayne Strother, who's an outstanding girls basketball coach in high school, one of the winningest coaches of all time nationally at Florine High School. Very deserving. Congratulations to him. Jonathan Lucroy, a multiple-time All-Star in Major League Baseball as a catcher with the Milwaukee Brewers, one of the best players in the history of the Milwaukee Brewers franchise. Second Brewer to be inducted in the last 5 years. Joining Ricky Weeks, who was from Southern University. Well, Jonathan Lucroy went to the University of Louisiana, Lafayette. Mike McConaughey, head basketball coach at Northwestern State, outstanding playing career at Airline of Bossier City and Louisiana Tech, and the winningest college basketball coach. Combined his wins at Northwestern and at Bossier Community College. Pat Williams from Monroe, Louisiana, Wasserman High School, Texas A&M, a big nose tackle who plugged up the middle for the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills most of the time for the Vikings. 3-time Pro Bowler for him. A lot of people may not know about him, but he was a really good player. Sylvia Fowles, the 6'6" center for the LSU Lady Tigers when they went to four consecutive Final Fours, and then had an outstanding career in the WNBA. And Todd McClure, All-American center at LSU, and his name is in the Ring of Honor. Don't hold it against him. He said you can't pick your relatives or you can't pick your team. He was a dirty bird, Atlanta Falcon for 14 years, but was really good player and is a really good guy. Special awards given Warren Morris, the guy who hit the home run for LSU. The only time that the College World Series has ended in a walk-off, that was 30 years ago, 1996, when LSU won that national title. Kathy Holloway, Miss Holloway, Coach Kathy Holloway, First woman to head the Louisiana High School Coaches Association, to be the president of that. And she went on to do the same with the national organization. Yeah. So, she's a big-time lady. And so, the media people, Gil Leberton, outstanding writer from here in New Orleans, who has done most of his great work over in Dallas, in that area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, very deserving. John James Marshall, outstanding sports writer and radio host up in North Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And I think I got everybody.
All right. Well, that sounds great.
Yeah, it's a good weekend. And yeah,
all of them.
Mm-hmm. Good weekend, and people ought to go up and see the Hall of Fame. Yes, it is a building you can go into, and there's memorabilia and all that good stuff.
Sounds like a good trip for the day or overnight, weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the area. It's a beautiful place.
Natchitoches is a nice town, as you well know.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that waterway.
It's kind of South Louisiana town in the middle of North Louisiana.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Right. That's a good description.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
Architecture.
I like that. So. All right, well, look, we got a few more minutes before we get out of the way for the front porch, and we'll be back shortly after the break. Let's touch on the vetoes from the good governor. Good governor making some bad moves. With vetoes.
The vetoes that cost New Orleans? Is that what you're talking about? Go on and say it, Will Sutton.
Absolutely.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So we're going to have to look at that some more this week, but let's talk about it a little bit before we end the show. What's that talk line number? Roll.
504-582-9422. You want to call? You better call now. So you can get in.
This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton, and I'm here for a few more minutes with Ro Brown.
Good morning.
And we told you before the break that we're going to talk some about the vetoes. So the governor signed the state budget, and then he did what is his right to do and scratched out by line item veto a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And a lot of that seems to be pointed at you know who. Well, I thought this was a fascinating post on social media this weekend. State Representative Amy Adato Freeman had something to say about these vetoes. Let's hear from her.
I don't like line item vetoes. I don't care who the governor is. I think they are punishments to the people of those communities and not to the representatives and the senators. With the line item vetoes from the governor on the money bills, HB1, HB2, HB 312, I did not suffer any cuts for District 98. So let me call a spade a spade. There is a clear difference between me and the majority of my colleagues from the Orleans delegation. My district did not suffer cuts, and when I look at the cuts that were out there, they were coming off of a racially charged session that we were targeted as a city for being an African American majority city, and now the districts that are suffering the most are the African American majority districts. That's what's happening. That is actually what I see, and I'm certainly hoping you're paying attention, because it's wrong on so many levels, because we as a city come together to do things. We have a mayor who's trying to bring everybody together to solve issues and create new sources of revenue and move our city forward. And so when we as a city are targeted, it doesn't hurt one district, it hurts all of us in the city. And in this particular case, the line item vetoes that were on the list, 52.6% of them were targeted at New Orleans and at communities in need. And so I find it very frustrating to see Covenant House that supports youth in our community, to see Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, which is trying to fix a plumbing problem, have cuts. Cutting things because you are politically opposed to a person is not punishing that person. You're actually punishing the people in those areas.
Whoa! That is not a black representative of the New Orleans legislative delegation.
And who is she?
And that is State Representative Amy Adato Freeman. And
where is she?
District 98.
Who does she represent?
District 98. So that's her district, and she's one of two white members of the Orleans district. The other is Mandy Landry, and there she is speaking truth that I'm sure some of you all recognize.
Is she a Democrat or a Republican?
She is a Democrat.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. She is a Democrat. And she, as she said, called a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Let's look at where these cuts are. And even in majority black New Orleans, there are some districts that are more black than others. Mm-hmm. And she made a note of saying, I didn't lose anything, but I represent 98. And I look different than the other people, most of the people. She could have said all but one of the other people in this district. And that's not cool. And we're talking about cuts that included redevelopment efforts at Armstrong Park and the Municipal Auditorium. We're talking about things that cuts for Covenant House, which serves the homeless. We're talking about $2 million cut for the Ellis Marcellus Center for Music. We're talking about $1 million for the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, which was not based on who's the sheriff, but on the number of things that they need fixed. And we heard lots of things about that in just the last year. There are so many things that were cut, and too many to catch before we end this show. So we're going to come back at this. So those of you all who have some knowledge and information about the vetoes generally, or specific organizations or projects that have funding cuts, we want to hear from you. So prep yourselves for tomorrow, because that's going to be a chunk of the show that we'll have on Tuesday. Lord willing, I'll be back here tomorrow morning. And how about you, Ro?
I'll be here.
All right. Sounds good. It is 8:59 a.m. We're going to make our way out so that the front porch can make its way in. After that, Tavis Smiley and, of course, the G-Man with the reality check later on in the afternoon. This is WBOK 1230 a.m. with New Orleans.